Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Rest in peace to Dr. Ogunami. Per Hitro say he no do this video to cry for Dr. Ogunami, but to celebrate him. Make I leave you now, make you hear from Per Hitro.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Well, to most of us, it has been a sad day since yesterday. But I'm here today, this evening, on a very quiet place, quiet moment, in respect of a very great brother we lost. Let me first of all congratulate and thank everybody who showed concern, sincerely concerned about the death of our beloved brother, Dr. Ogunami. A man that I get to know when he first called me last year, expressing his interest towards my way that I present my programs on Facebook. Here today, you might be surprised that I'm not in my apartment, or I'm not in a room, but I'm in a very open place due to his nature of the human nature, or the life he lived when he was alive. He's a man that I always believe in freedom. He believed in space. He believed in the atmosphere that is cool and endurable to everybody. It is the more reason I decided to come very close to the beach to pay him my homage too, as part of a very sincere friendship we had together. My greatest regret was I couldn't meet him physically, although the journey so far has been cool. As I said in my title there, I'm not here to weep for Dr. Ogunami. I'm here to celebrate his life. It was short and brief and specific and accurate. You see, great men don't really live for so long. It is better to die as a brave man very shortly than to stay too long on earth and people will be using you to make caricature. So far, I decided to do this video today. I saw a lot of persons, people coming out, even those who don't even wish him well, now coming to pay solidarity. So I'm not here to attack anybody, but I just wish you all well too. And this is a very strong lesson to everybody. And first, let me first of all analyze some topics we'll be hearing, or some words we'll be hearing from presenters all along. Let nobody beat the drum of war or retaliations or so ever. What happened to me was the call that he already know. This is the gospel truth. I have two gentlemen like this in Facebook that followed me for a very long time, and before I now knew they were following me, I also was following them. One is very, very private. He never comes out on social media, but he has one day called me and expressed his capacity in nature, which I respect, and also to have invited me over for us to have a chat together physically, which I'm yet to do. But on the issue of our beloved brother today, Dr. Ogunami, I want to clean it out, because from the beginning when I got the call, when I was traveling down, because I was off from my city for the past 2 days, I just came in today. I have a series of calls and telephone. I watched the first broadcast by Ajabo, though he refused to mention his name. I want to correct that impression immediately to all presenters that we do not expect his wife that is mourning, the late husband, to come out and say, look, I lost my husband. She has never been a social media lady. And we don't even expect the aged mother to come out to do the same thing too. All the family are in shock and are not so much in a big mood to do that. So it is our position, our duty to do that for those who don't know him. And I also read in some areas in the Facebook, people platform saying, who is this man, who is this man? I have answered a few questions on people platform, telling them, look, if you want to know him, since you can't know him any longer, he's not physically alive any longer, you can just click to Facebook and just write Dr. Ogunami and see his beliefs and what he stands for, who he was when he was alive. I want to clean that notion from everybody's mind that it was a setup or it was killed or stuff like that. You see, there's one thing no human being is greater than. The only man that was able to predicted, or people predicted, or the spirit predicted his coming and his going and his lifestyles were the only person who was Jesus Christ. Not even Muhammad was predicted his coming, no, he's ordained as a prophet. So no one should, please, I'm just begging. I was opportune there to speak to somebody very close to him. I'm yet to talk to the cousin sister who welcomed me in the airport, who also is a spiritual person. Is a princess of the Olokun, I believe so. And for your information, he was not shot, according to rumors that we'll be hearing up and down. He slumbered on active dance, as we understood, probably maybe in one of these Richmond where they were celebrating. Okay, these are normal things, but the thing that does not shock me much was that if you go down to his species, you will understand that he has never taken this place as a permanent place for him all along. He was here for a few moments to give his own part or contribute to his own quota to the world in general, especially we from the Edo State. But the lesson we get from this one is just that it's hard time we now know the values of people. Sometimes when I listen to that music, celebrate me when I'm alive, not when I'm gone. You start paying tribute or celebrating me after my death. In as much I understand that I have those who don't like me too, but please let us know which ourselves death. Though death is inevitable, I want to let one thing clear to you today is that when you believe in the spiritual realm, whether in the Christendom or in the paganism level, believe me honestly, you must always have an attack, or you must always have those who are against you in anything you're doing, whether you believe or you don't believe it. You see, the gentleman I was talking about before, who I said was also a spiritual person, in short, is the goddess of the river. Okay, he lives in Italy here with us. Most of us don't know him. He called me one day in the midnight. I was at work doing night, and he said, "So I'm so sorry." He called me on a video call and said he has been watching me for a very long time. He described me as a very potential person and somebody who needs to excel more than this. He gave me a few advices on how to present my issues, on how to present my shows, how to create my own legacy on Facebook. I've always been saying that those of you who do in Facebook here, you will be remember whatever you do. And those of us who say things that are right, whether it is difficult to say or not, it is only the mouth that is difficult to pronounce certain things. But when you say it, you understand? So when I asked this guy, why did you not go to Nigeria at least to create your potential instead of stay indoors in this place here, losing your potential in this place? You know what he told me? He gave me that understanding that in the spiritual realm, you have a spiritual attack. So for that simple reason, going back to Nigeria will cause a lot of fans for him, and of course, it will also bring a lot of enemies to him. Nobody knows it all except God. Not even Jesus Christ know it all in his time. He always tells us he consults his Father in anything he's facing on earth. We read it in the Bible like that. Okay, so that notion is that if you are a political person, you believe in the politics, and you are in politics, especially in Nigeria, expect attack from the political realm too. You will never get an attack from a jazz man when you are a political activist, or maybe you are a political person. You understand? You will only get attack from those who are your opponent, or those who felt they are jealous about you. Physically too, you can be assassinated, you can be poisoned, you can be attacked, and if you survive, it's your luck. Okay, if you also belongs to the armed robber spiritual realm, that you are a criminal, you should expect one day that the gunman be missing you for a very long time, and one day the gun will also meet you one day, definitely. Okay, so the fact is that losing a man like this, as I said, I'm going to set a day for it to celebrate him. I'm not mourning him, because I believe his death is not a sudden things that happen without a reason. I prefer the way he goes, because he went away as a great man, as a brave person, as somebody who understands his capacity, who understands his views. from the beginning to the end. He's a man that has never missed his words from the beginning. So for those of you who are just coming in, joining me online today, I have decided to come in this quiet moment, just as he was doing on live when he was also in live. He normally got to talk about topic of issues, physical issues in his house. But when he's going to talk about anything that related to the future or things that are of wisdom or spiritual, he normally goes to an open space. And today I'm just close to the sea to give him that respect, as this is the best moment of his time. He has never been a man that always liked to be indoors. He likes the freedom, he likes the atmosphere, he likes the nature of human beings. Coming to Benin was a fulfillment of all his topics he has been talking about, trying to bring the awareness to the city, trying to bring awareness to the state. And once again, I want to urge everybody to remain calm while we wait for further information from the family. The only thing I will beg everybody who are presenters who really love this man from his heart is to celebrate him. Don't mourn him. This man is, you see, when we lost somebody that has given a lot on the few time he spent on earth, Ogunami came into the line stream not or even up to 3 or 4 years, but he has created a very great impact in our lives, in so many people's life too. You see, he might not be in the same field with me or the same belief with me, but with his belief, I took some certain advice from him as a junior person to me. And the first day we spoke, I laughed over what he was saying. He said, "Look, my brother, you don't know me. I know you for the past 2 years. And you've been a very good outspoken person." And so I recommended him that we need to do something together in common, which he agreed after his trip. But the trip was sudden. It was not a proposed trip that was supposed to be done by now, but all of a sudden I was shocked to have called and he said he was in Nigeria. So when I heard the story, I have been trying to reach him since yesterday to see whether the line is going. First, there was a rumor that was going on that there was our brother too who lives in Germany. I think Sunday, something like that. So please, everybody should desist from that. Sunday lives, no matter the differences we have in political issues, but he lives, and may God continue to make him to live. Okay, but this is a sound warning and lessons to everybody that whatever you do, I'll be saying it on my Facebook, that your story remains in Facebook forever and ever. After you, your story will remain, no matter the situation, no matter anything at all. I also spoke about our kids coming back to check our story after we've left this sinful world. Okay, so the only thing that I feel is that the lady or the wife will be somehow empty at the moment, because he was a man loved by everybody, not to talk of the wife he has at home. And I sent my condolence messages to his close relatives back home, the aged mother, the cousin, especially the cousin, Yedo, I think that's her name. I normally see her watching me all the time. We are not friends on Facebook, but as I said before, I get to know this man when I place a call. So he now told me he has been following me, because I usually see his pictures there, but I never know exactly who he is. Until I find out to his profile, I get to know him. So once again, the story reaching us is that they were doing a kind of vacation festival. He was on the dancing floor when he slumped out. Maybe he fed and knocked his head in the place that is not supposed to have been the position that he has knocked his head. He slumbered and he was rushed down to the hospital and he gave the ghost. But as we are told, the cousin always said that he has been saying that he's going to leave, and they've always been rebuking him of that statement. He said, look, no, he laughed over it and said, look, he's going to leave. One of the promises he gave in his life was not to die in overseas, that he wanted to die in the land of his ancestors, which he has fulfilled. Whether you spend 60 years, you spend 80 years, you spend 100 years, the important thing is that how do you live the life you live when you are on earth? This is the most important thing, because when I watched all the programs since Money in the train before I came down up to now, I least expected people who were speaking good about this man. Once again, celebrate those who are alive, tell them their values, show them their values, let them know exactly the impact they've shown in you. I don't want to go much details about all I know about him, because he's no longer alive. I don't want to go details, things we shared in common. But the fact is that he was a man that was not a man that was not, how do I call it, a public noisemaker. He was a public constructive speaker, a motivated speaker who has a strong belief in the tradition, which I respect more than any other person is on Facebook. I usually say I throw some few calls to some ladies who present the shows here. I don't want to mention their names there, they know. I call 2 in Germany. I think I have one in England. I have one in Australia. So I urge every promoters, or every presenters who love this man, at least to keep in touch and let us see how we can be able to celebrate him and give him a very strong, befitting burial, even though we may not be present physically in Nigeria there. It is important. And let nobody celebrate that, wow, I have this people thing I told him he's going to see. I made it. I did it. You did nothing. He knows his time has come. Go back, check all his words. Listen to all his words. You will get to understand that this man knows exactly where he's coming from, where he's going, when he's going, and how he's going to go. We also saw a lot of things said about TB Joshua's after his death. We know all these things. So things are like that. But the effect of a great man leaving us early like that does not affect the man himself. It affects his environment, it affects his family, it affects his friends, it affects his society. No, the fact was that the only thing that pains me most was he was unable to get recognition from the royal father, which he was intending to do. Probably maybe was preparing for that. But I don't know. Probably the time was not enough for him. I think the last video I saw was when he visited the Murray's house when he was speaking to his son. That was the last one. I tried to place a call, but as I told you, my internet was very, very bad because I was not around in my city. So I couldn't do that. But up till now, I still hope I need to speak to the sister directly. That was the person that knows him more better than anybody. That was the person who can be able to let us know exactly what is going on. Autopsy has to be done. We know that, but it's just going to be done for reference purposes, for the family purposes. If it is a heart failure, then we should know it is autopsy is a heart failure. Then they start checking up the family, his siblings, on how to maintain their own health too. So, but once again, I want to wish you all a very pleasant evening. I promise to be back again to celebrating more than this after consulting with about few persons who I really know were his close friends, close fans, who believe his objective and his aims when he was alive. Once again, I did not come here to mourn Dr. Ogunami nor weep for him. I came here to celebrate a man that has left behind a perfect legacy for every presenters to emerge. In short, he was greater than me in one sense that I've never been involved in so many attacks that I was involved in when they wanted to drag me into society issues. This was not the call I came here on Facebook to be doing. So he told me these things. From that very day, I cautioned myself to be less interested in trying to involve in these ladies' talk. Because we are here, he chooses a part of restoring dignity to the kingdom of Edo. But I decided to restore sanity to the political system in Edo State. So we are both people that believe in sanity, justice, and fairness, equality. Okay. But he chooses the right of the traditional aspect, while I choose the political reign of it. So I do not expect to have any attack spiritually. If they try, they will fail. But the fear we'll be having as a political activist is not to have a physical attack from people who don't believe in your ways, who don't believe in your thought, who see you as a threat to their success, who see you as a threat to their progress. So we wish his family a very big heart to bear this loss. You see, the consequences of those who take people's life one way or the other. I have met great men and women in Nigeria. I remember 16 or 15 years ago, I took somebody to a place. I was just outside in the place and trying to take, I think it was the Omega I sent to. That time it was just raining. This Omega, all those fast food were just coming up in Benin at that time, GT, stuff like that. They went to go and buy me a rice. As I was there, the person was consulting somebody, an IFA, in the room. I just took card there, and I was called upon to come from the car, and I stood and I greeted him. We become friends, So he gave me some words that I was shocked in my life. That was the first person that have told me exactly who I am, what I am, my words, and the reason why I'm passing through what I'm passing through. So I took it from him, and I believe in him. He gave me names that they were not names in English language. They were names, the traditional names given to close relation of mine. Okay, a lot of things he said that have led me to see that there are many faces of religion. Okay, many faces of religion, but I am not in a position to tell you the right way to follow. But all I believe is that whichever way you are taking in anything you are doing, let your heart be clean, let your mind be focused, believe on whatever you want to believe on, but do it in the right way, in the right manner, at the right time, and know exactly what you are doing. Once again, I join every presenters, everybody that speak on Facebook, to pay the condolence to this gentleman and the family, the wife, the kids he left behind. As I said, I will not weep for Dr. Ogunami. Instead, I will celebrate him. He's a man that I know for a few times, but that I have created a very big vacuum in my thoughts, in my ideas, and in so many things. I asked a lot of questions about his beliefs. He explained so many things. I begin to imagine. I told him, do you read philosophy? Were you a graduate in Nigeria? In short, he gave me a lot of stories about himself before he came to overseas. He gave me who he was, what he believes, how he reincarnated to what it was before he died. So once again, let nobody play ostrich about this man's death. It has come and it has gone. He has left a big and good legacy behind Facebook. I just hope the death of Ogunami tells us, shows us some good examples on how to appreciate each other and give each other ideas. I have one character that I do every time. For those of you who know me, I said I place calls to so many persons who I know that are very vibrant and very real in their presentation, who did not come out on Facebook to attack one person or the other. Anytime you see me be involved in an attack or being involved in any issues, I just get in to speak for the voiceless and say, look, enough is enough. I don't have a permanent friend nor a permanent enemy. I do hope we all have a pleasant evening. And you can see, as I said before, I'm outside. This is just the sea in my place. If you can see to the other side of the road, you can see there's a bridge that opens where the ship passes, right? I decided to do this video here today because of the belief of Dr. Ogunami. He's a man that believes in nature, a man that believes in open space, a man that believes in space, a man that believes in freedom. And this is the reason why I paid my homage in this environment, a quiet place of myself, to him. I do hope in the nearest future that we all learn from what we had yesterday and today. But lastly, let me remind everybody to keep their hands folded and put their ears down closely on every arrangement. Let nobody play superstar over this issue. Whatever information you have that is solid, please pass it forward. I read a test by the cousin, that princess, the Olokun princess, who said these words have been common in his mouth since he came to Nigeria. But I don't want to display the test here because it's a private test discussion. Okay, but I do hope to speak to her in the nearest future, and we shall see how we can be able to manage and celebrate it once more again when we have a strong arrangement on how he will lay to rest. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Peace to everybody. Love you guys and bless everybody. Good evening once more again to everybody.
Now we don't hear from Pahitro, you hear everything we talk about Dr. Ogunami. Let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for the hear all the things where they happen for Nigeria. Make I leave you now with this video. Make you help us share them. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.